Hey guys, my name is Gregory Stevenson and welcome to our intermediate course for how annuities works. Today we're going to be talking about how an annuity earns a rate of return while tracking the market and while never losing when the market goes down. So let's go ahead and tune right in and break it down. So let's go ahead and give you an example case on how an annuity can really earn you a great rate of return. With an annuity, you are linking your gain to a market of your choice. You can link it to the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Barclays, and whatever the difference is in 1 year, that is going to be your crediting minus any caps or multiplied times any participation rate or minus any spread. So I'm going to break that down here in a second, but let's go ahead and use a very simple example. Let's say you have $1, okay? Or let's say $100,000. Doesn't really matter. The percentage is what matters the most. Let's say you have $100,000, and 1 year later, the S&P 500 goes from 5,000 to 5,500. That would be a 10% realized rate of return. Let's say that happens from January to January. That would be a 10% difference. Your $100,000 will now earn a $10,000 crediting to your annuity in that scenario. So pretty simple, a 10% rate of return. Now, if the market does 10 and you have a cap of 9, in that example, you would have earned $9,000 because the cap is 9 and the market did 10. So the company keeps the money above the cap in that scenario, and you get the guarantee that the money will never be lost in your account where if the market goes down. So for example, if the market went negative 10%, now you still have $100,000 and you're almost at even a better position to make a higher rate of return in the index annuity, because let's say the market is at 4,500. Now when the annuity resets on that January timeframe, now it's resetting at that 4,500 mark in the S&P 500. And let's say the market comes up to 5,500. Yeah, there was a 20% gain in that year, but you were capped out at 9% and you earned that rate of return of 9%. So pretty simple there. Now let's just use that same number for participation rate. Let's say the market does 10% times 150% participation. In that example, you would make $15,000 inside of your index annuity. So participation rate is the rate of return that the market does on an annual point-to-point multiplied times the participation rate equals the rate of return that you're going to earn in your index annuity. Let's do the same thing with a spread. A spread is the first 3%, for example, and the market does 10, you're going to get 7. So if the market does a 10% rate of return and you have 100,000, the spread being 3, you're going to earn $7,000 in that example. So that is really how an index annuity earns a rate of return. It's capped participations or spread, and that's a real example of how an annual point-to-point can work. There's also 2-year annual point-to-point or 24-month. There's also monthly point-to-point where the cap may be 2% on a monthly basis, but you can capture that monthly 2%. And again, same thing with a 2-year. So if you want to learn more about that specifically, you definitely want to look at the rate of return or the crediting sheet of an index annuity. And when you look at that, it's going to give you the current rates at which you can earn a rate of return on that index annuity. So I hope that makes sense. That's how index annuities earn a rate of return inside of their crediting strategies. So I hope that makes sense, and I'll catch you in the next part. Bye-bye.